Hey, good Friday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa made it to Friday. We've got quite a rain on the way for about the southern 2/3 of lower Michigan. I'm going to detail it because I'll show you a couple of different model solutions that both show 2 inches or more in a relatively small area, but all of us probably looking at least a ½ inch to a lot of inch amounts coming up. Hey, Fostoria checking in. Good morning. And Val Jones, good morning. And Joshua Ashley, thanks for watching this morning. This is the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Let's get right on into it and show you what's going on. Okay, here's our big comma-shaped storm system. So you can pick out Michigan on the far right of the screen, and the storm center now is in Iowa, and you can kind of see that intense curl, eastern Nebraska, western Iowa. Now that is the area that will move east-northeast, and that's the area that probably puts down a stripe of 2 inches of rain or so. So we'll see that here as we go through all of the information for you. All right, so here's your radar right now. Some of this on the leading edge is probably not reaching the ground. So in the Thumb and in the Houghton Lake area, you might see rain on the radar, but it's just up in the clouds so far. The rain off to the west, obviously in Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, is reaching the ground and heading this way. So here we go with our favorite thing, the radar forecast. You know, I was talking to the Central Michigan University meteorology program the other day, and I was mentioning that when I went to college, we had 3 models. Two of them went out 48 hours, but only every 12 hours we would see a solution, and then one of them went out 60 hours. Now we have things like this that go out much farther into the future, and we never even had a radar forecast in late 80s. We didn't even know that would be possible. So this is this afternoon. We're going to see showers developing everywhere, but Detroit and Ann Arbor and Monroe in the far southeast, you might see the rain hold off until evening sometime. This is 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So, you know, it's going to be raining probably in Traverse City and Gaylord and all of the Saginaw Bay City Midland area by this evening. And in the south, you'll have rain too. And then we go through the night tonight. Rain kind of picks up in intensity because we get into that comma head, the north side of that. Okay. Hey, good morning, Carrie Draper and Dennis Gorman. Thanks for watching this morning. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. So here's Saturday morning, 9 a.m., 10, 11. Notice how the rain pattern just kind of gels into a solid rain and starts to shift southeast. So tomorrow morning is going to be wet. You know, I'm showing you 10 in the morning. If you see anywhere in green there, Big Rapids, Muskegon, Bay City, Standish, southward, you're going to be wet tomorrow morning. Light to moderate, steady. This is 1 in the afternoon, 2, 3. It's still wet in the southeast. It's a wet day. It's just a flat out wet Saturday in the southeast. You know, but you get to 4 in the afternoon and maybe it's coming to an end in Grand Rapids and Saginaw. But then the lake effect kicks in and you can see little bursts of lake effect come in off of Saginaw Bay. Now we go to Sunday morning and we go to Sunday noontime and a secondary wave coming in from the northeast on cooler air. That's lake effect rain. That's another spurt of showers that comes south, probably over the eastern half of the state on Sunday. Now, we never dreamed about models back in the 80s that would go out 10 days either and be accurate. Here they are. Hey, good morning from the Village Arts Factory in Canton. Yes, Village Arts Factory. That sounds like a pretty good one. Oh boy, Victoria, I got to try your name. Duragnona? Did I get that right? Maybe. That's because of my El Nino knowledge. All right, so here's the storm system shifting on to the southeast. Sunday, I'm going to say showery in the eastern part of the state, not in the western part of the state for the most part. Monday now, it looks like that has moved on. And remember, the human being can still beat these models somewhat because we know the pitfalls. So Monday, Tuesday, dry. Wednesday, back to a southwesterly flow, warmer temperatures. And then as we go to the end of next week, another cooler blob drops south and forms a cutoff storm system to our south. That is all, again, because of a warmer than normal atmosphere. Eric Ham is supposed to have a softball tourney tomorrow in Saginaw. Guessing that probably won't happen. Probably not. So here's our precipitation total forecast. This is the North America model. I like this one. Let's take it through Saturday evening. It shows the 2-inch rains from Pentwater to Big Rapids to near Mount Pleasant, I guess we'd say. Okay. Other spots, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Hey, I got Victoria's name right. I'm only going to try it one time then. Okay. Ann Arbor, 1 inch. Detroit area, 1 inch. Monroe, Jackson, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids. You know, could there be a pocket in there that only gets 1/4 to 1/2? Yes, but it's very unlikely. And then take it north to Traverse City, 1/2 inch. And then take it north to Charlevoix, and it tapers off. Take it north to Mackinac City, and nothing. So the story here is that where the leaves are in peak at the tip of the mitt, eastern UP, is where you'll also want to go stay dry. Eric Hammis, college football and warm slippers kind of day. You got that right, bud. Let's get the chili going and the jalapeno poppers, all that stuff. We're getting into jalapeno popper season, folks. Let's just be honest. Now, this is the European rainfall total. So same scenario. And look, it's 2-inch rains, close to the same. Grand Rapids area over toward Muskegon. So somewhere in that west central region is probably where you're going to see the 2-inch plus rains. Otherwise, look at what it does in Saginaw, 1.5 inches. So I'm going to say Saginaw, Bay City, Flint are all 1/2 inch to 1 inch with the possibility of 1.5 inches. Okay, so wet, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now, here comes the warmer air. And just, I looked at my time on the air yesterday, and I thought, too long, 17 minutes, sorry. But I do want to tell you one thing here. One important point as we go into the fall. I have to use my wife, my lovely wife, whom I met 27 years ago and 1 month today. We met on Friday the 13th. I have to use her kind of as a psychological experiment on weather forecasting. Warmer than normal, remember. When we're talking about what's coming up 10 days out, it's going to turn warmer than normal, not warm. I don't make that call. You decide for yourself if in late October 60 to 65 degrees is warm. It'll be 10 to 15 degrees warmer than normal. You decide if it's warm. Because if I say warm and it's 60, some people are still cold. So I always have to fight that. All right, so here we go. 50s today, 50s on Saturday, 50s on Sunday, but starting to inch up, 50s on Monday, Tuesday 50s, Wednesday 60s, Thursday 60s, Friday near 60, Saturday 60s, Sunday 60s, This is far out into the future, granted, but that says that we may have warmer than normal conditions. And here, we also have to look at the big picture, okay? So I could tell you warmer than normal out into the future, out in the next 10 days. And that's what I want to show you. So I want to show you the Europeans' mid-levels of the atmosphere. And basically the story is that we don't get any much colder than normal plunges. We get some periods of warmer than normal, but we don't get a balancing colder than normal. So in aggregate, the next 10 days, it's going to be warmer than normal compared to what it should be. All right, so here that is. Here's our storm system sliding to our south over the weekend. And then notice it dips into the south and the heights and the atmosphere starts to warm and expand. Another storm system forms, comes through probably late next week and dips to the south as the atmosphere expands in Canada, northern U.S., our region. Now we're out to October 26th. We're out to October 27th, October 28th, and it's not a colder than normal atmosphere. It's probably about a normal or maybe warmer than normal atmosphere. And to put it into real terms for you here, one last slide for you. These are the temperature anomalies about 5,000 feet up, so you can see if it's colder than normal or warmer than normal. This is that pocket coming through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with the clouds around, so we're cooler than normal. Then look by Wednesday afternoon. We're already heading to a warmer than normal pattern. Next storm dips into the south with a cold pocket under rain and showers, but look at what we're doing Sunday, October 22nd. Right now the forecast is for, let's see, that would be about 6 to 10 degrees warmer than normal. Okay? And then we go out to the 24th and 25th, and you just don't see any real cold pocket anywhere in sight. So we're probably talking, I wrote yesterday, is there any frost in sight? Maybe next week, one morning marginal frost, but otherwise we're looking at, it might be Halloween or after before we get into something like that. Hey, thanks for joining me on this Friday. I'm going to be writing up a post right now on MLive about, and you get a sneak preview, the latest El Nino discussion is out yesterday, and the experts now give us a 3 in 10 or 30% chance of what they're calling a historically strong El Nino in the category of 1997-98, very warm winter, and 2015-16. I got to look back at what happened on that one. But remember, the stronger the El Nino gets, the greater the chance of warmer than normal, not warm, warmer than normal, and drier than normal conditions in the winter. That also means I got to remind some folks, we will still have snow, we could still have a snowstorm, we could still have a blizzard, we could have an ice storm, we will still be wearing coats in a warmer than normal and drier than normal winter. It just will not, I do not see it being a severe winter. You got two factors on the side of that. Global warming, polar regions are warming, and that's our source region for cold, and the strong to historically strong El Nino. So if you're worried about the winter, worried about cutting 5 cords of wood, you might be all right with 3 cords, something like that. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great weekend. Bye.